Hey Magic fans, and welcome to the Let's Talk Magic podcast game day preview. We are talking game day number 58 for the Orlando Magic, and we are flying into Atlanta to take on the Hawks. The Magic are looking to make it 3 wins out of 3 on this current road trip. Venue is the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. UK tip time is midnight, which is 7 p.m. in both Orlando and Atlanta. Here in the UK, to watch live or on demand, you are going to need an active NBA League Pass subscription. Let's talk about the Magic first of all. Regular season record of 32-25. We've won our last 3 games and are at 8-2 in the last 10 played. This is really starting to get some form at the right time of the season. Road record 14-7, standing 6th in the East. Points per game 111.8 scored, conceding 110.8. Ranked 23rd offensively, which is 1 up again after last night's performance, and defensively we remain at 4th. Second night of a back-to-back, we are faring better on the second night of a back-to-back than last season. So far this season we are at 3-8 on back-to-backs on the second night. It's not a great record, and hopefully it's one we can improve on. Again, we saw more drama on a road fixture. 31 road games played for the Magic, 15 decided by a margin of 5 points or less, 11 of those by 3 points or less. And last night, one of those games was the Detroit Pistons. We took a hard-fought, heart-stopping, nail-biting road win over the Pistons, 112-109. Was another team win. 8 of the 11 players used by the Magic registered double-digit scoring, 25 assists, 9 blocks, 9 steals, and eventually the team managed to get on top of the turnovers as well, which we were having some issue with early on. As we said in our preview yesterday, the Pistons are better than their record, and it took a clutch baseline pull-up jumper from Paolo Banchero with 0.8 seconds remaining over a defending Jalen Duren, who had a great game to seal that win. Paolo was also fouled on the shot, and he made the subsequent free throw, and that provided the 3-point cushion. And despite being under the weather, and we saw a clearly emotional Paolo as a result of that in his post-game interview, he finished with a team high of 15 points. Franz Wagner, Jalen Suggs, Mo Wagner each had 14 points. Mo Wagner, all energy, leading the bench again. Cole Anthony hit 13 points to go along with 7 assists. Great, as we keep saying, to see Cole back and effective. Gary Harris, Jonathan Isaac both posted 12 points. Wendell Carter Jr., double-double again, 11 points, 10 rebounds. Starting unit was Jalen Suggs, Gary Harris, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero and Wendell Carter Jr. From the bench we saw Goga Bitadze, Cole Anthony, Jonathan Isaac, Anthony Black, Joe Ingles and Mo Wagner. Caleb Houston and Chuma Okeke were both unused from the bench. As to tonight, interesting stuff we're seeing here. Gary Harris is out with a calf injury, so the starting unit will have to change tonight for Coach Mosley. However, Markelle Fultz, who had missed 3 consecutive games through injury management, is no longer on our injury report. So it could be that we see Gary replaced by Jalen Suggs as the shooting guard position, and Markelle Fultz comes straight back into as our starting point guard. As to the other guys, Jet Howard, we know he's away on an assignment to the G League, to the Osceola Magic, and Kevon Harris, Trevelyan Queen are both listed as out, being 2-way G League players. It's unusual to see a back-to-back that the tip times are less than 24 hours apart. So this one, probably expect to see the coach perhaps spread the minutes a little bit more, but he will go back to, I think, to his favoured starting 5 for this one. Talking about the Atlanta Hawks next, their season record is 24-32. They have lost 3 on the spin and are at 5-5 in the last 10 played. They stand 10th in the East. They score a very healthy 121.3 points per game, but concede a horrendous 123.9 points per game, which is one of the, I think that's 29th most points conceded in the league. So they are really down at the bottom end there, and it shows in their defensive rating. They are last in the league, 30th. Offensively, however, they are 6th in the league. At home, the Hawks have a 13-16 record. These two teams met on January the 17th, and honestly, statistically, very little has actually changed around talking about the Hawks. No team still shoots more per game than the Hawks do. On average, they take 94 shots. That remains constant. They take a shade over 38 from three-point range. That remains constant. They also make 44 of those shots and roughly 14 from the three. Nothing has changed in those statistics since we last spoke about them. They lead the league in offensive rebounds. They shoot the fifth most free throws. That's dropped back one per game. But they shoot with a high degree of accuracy from the line. Atlanta defence, however, is relatively ineffective all season in all categories. They are susceptible to second chance points. They are susceptible to scoring in the paint and off of the fast break. Trae Young, he continues to be top 10 in all categories, but in all honesty, as we'll say in a moment, it's probably not really much point talking about him, but they are going to hurt because they are going to lose his 26.4 points per game along with 10.8 assists and his 1.4 steals. As you gather, he is out for tonight. Scoring for Atlanta, though, comes in many forms. Aside from Trae Young, there's DeJounte Murray, 21.5 points per game. Bogdanovic, 16.9. Jalen Johnson, 15.6. DeAndre Hunter, 15.1. Sadiq Bey, 13.6. And Clint Capella, 11.3. Besides his scoring, Clint Capella is again being a dominant shot blocker and rebounder. He leads the league in offensive rebound categories. Last time out for the Hawks, they took a home court defeat, 1-2-3, 1-2-1 to the Toronto Raptors on February the 23rd. Though Toronto led for most of the game, it was a tight affair for much of that competition. It was nip and tuck all the way through. DeJounte Murray, he led the team as he flirted with a triple-double, put up 24 points, 10 rebounds and 7 assists. DeAndre Hunter, he followed with 22 points to lead the bench. Sadiq Bey, 18 points, 9 rebounds. And then you had Bogdanovic, Jalen Johnson, Bruno Fernando and Trae Young all score double digits. That starting five was Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, Sadiq Bey, Jalen Johnson and Clint Capella. And they just played four guys from the bench: Bogdanovic, Garrison Matthews, Bruno Fernando and DeAndre Hunter. They didn't use Wesley Matthews or Patty Mills, who were available but didn't play. As to tonight, as we've already said, Trae Young is out. He sustained a finger injury against the Raptors and is confirmed as being out. They also have Mohamed Gay, who's out with a back injury, and Okongwu, who's out with a toe injury. Trent Forrest, he's listed as out, ineligible to play. I can't find what that's actually about more than that. AJ Griffin is out on two-way assignment to the G League, as are a couple of the other two-way players. Atlanta coach Quinn Snyder will have to plug that hole that is the absence of Trae Young. It's a huge gap and he will have to shuffle a somewhat undermanned pack accordingly. Head-to-head with the Atlanta Hawks, the score stands at 63-71 to Atlanta. Final meeting of 4 this season. So far, the Hawks are leading 2-1. First game came on game day 8 in the Global Games, where we travelled to Mexico City. It was a home fixture for the Magic. It was tight, it was hard fought, but we came away 120-119 defeated. Trae Young found an open DeJounte Murray in the corner, and he knocked down the game-winning triple with, I think, about 6-7 seconds remaining. Paolo did have an opportunity for us, but was unable to connect, and we couldn't get the rebound. Overtime battle on game day 36. On-demand Orlando Magic outlasted the Atlanta Hawks to take a home court win, 110-117. Paolo Banchero played the point forward role and he poured in a double-double, 35 points, 10 rebounds. The third meeting of the season came game day 41, and that one went down to the wire. The Hawks snatched 104-106 home court victory for them. Buzzer beater from DeJounte Murray again, hitting the game-winning shot. It was a fantastic jump shot. The Magic really did struggle. We managed to make only 10 of our 35 attempts with the 3-ball. Over the last 2 seasons, the series has been taken 3-1 by the Hawks, and the Magic have only won 3 of the last 14 encounters. We haven't actually won the series since 2018-19 season, where we took it 4-0. So final thought, be under no illusion, Atlanta are, as with Detroit last night, better than their record suggests. With Trae Young not making it, Dejounte Murray will no doubt be relied on heavily and have an increased responsibility. And I don't think it's going to be something that he shies away from. He's already hurt us twice this season with late daggers. If this game is another tight one statistic to look for is that of leading going into the final quarter. When the Magic have a lead at that point of the game, this season they hold a 26-1 win record. Something to hope for. So if you enjoyed this game preview, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. It helps us do what we do. Set the notification button, share it around, comment. We love to hear from you all. But more importantly, let's go Magic. Let's get that W.